Hi, I'm Steve, the introverted traveler. I've made it my mission in life to explore the beaches, deserts, mountains, and even cityscapes around us, and to do so while avoiding contact with as many people as possible. And although I will never hang out with you for any reason, I do invite you to join me on my journey. Come and see the world through the eyes of an extreme introvert. On this edition, we journey to southern Washington state, near the small town of Yakult, in search of hidden falls. Along the way, we will see winding trails, cool bridges, dense forests, and a beautiful waterfall. All this and much more on this Introverted Travels. Greetings. I am back once again on yet another adventure. And today, well, check this out. Today, I am quite literally in the middle of nowhere. I'm on my way to Hidden Falls via the Appaloosa Trail here in, well, middle of nowhere, Washington. I have absolutely no idea what I'm close to, where the towns are. All I know is my GPS said go this way and I went that way. So, the good thing, the most beautiful thing, well, first of all, we're on our way to a waterfall. It's going to be about a 7-mile round trip, give or take 1,000 miles, because it's all trails, and all trails, well, sucks. However, it's supposedly 3.5 miles in, 3.5 miles out, etc., etc., etc. The trailhead. First of all, the trailhead was in a very confusing campground. Took me a while to figure out exactly where the trailhead is. But there were only 3 other cars at the trailhead. There were 2 people getting out of 1 car. That leaves a potential of, let's say, 4 people per car, 8 more people. So there's a possibility there are, I don't have enough fingers for this because I'm holding the selfie stick. There's a possibility that there are 10 people roaming around these woods. Now, these are big woods, there's multiple trails, so let's hope that they're dispersed. And I have finally found introvert nirvana. So far, so good, but I'm literally only 10 minutes into the hike. So I took people's advice. I came out in the middle of nowhere, but I can tell you from experience, the middle of nowhere does not guarantee there will not be throngs of people, especially during the summer. Right now, in early spring, it seems to be okay, but we're going to test that. We're going to see if I finally get my nirvana, if I finally get an introvert's dream, and if I'm finally alone here in these beautiful woods. So I'm not going to delay it anymore because I'm utterly paranoid that people are going to come right up behind me as I'm doing this. So I'm going to wrap it up. But in summary, waterfall, trail, hardly any people, happy introvert. What the hell am I going to talk about for the rest of the video if I'm not complaining about other... This may backfire on me. Well, so far, nirvana has held, and there's no people out here. So I'm in the middle of nowhere, southern Washington, down a bunch of logging roads. Some are paved, some are not. So that should kind of tell you how far out I had to go to, to reach introvert nirvana. And even though I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, like literally, there's nobody here. Middle of nowhere. Miles and miles and miles away from civilization. Very easy to get dead out here. Very easy to hide bodies out here. Not mine. Mine's pretty big. So if you were to serial kill me and try to bury me in the woods, you'd have a lot of digging to do. I mean, even if it was a shallow grave, but I mean, would you want to put something as big as me in a shallow grave? Because I'm going to stink when I decompose, and those predators are going to come, and there's going to be bones everywhere, and you got to think of the forensic possibilities and everything else. If you're going to bury me, you got to do it right. And, it's always going to be a good place to do it. But there are other people out here. There was a campground. There were people in the campground. Why people camp, I have no idea. That's not my thing, but if you want to do it, fine. It's a good way to get rid of people. There you go. Come out in the middle of nowhere, put up a tent, and, just you and the bears. But yeah, we're not that far in. We're probably about half a mile. But so far, everything is holding tight. Oh look, what a shocker. I found a fire road. Never found one of those before, ever, in any of my videos. I swear, I thought it was just a Northern California thing, but no, fire road. It's part of the Apocalypsa Trail. I can't pronounce crap, especially after I've been hiking a little bit. So, again, no people. Haven't seen anything. Did, however, hear gunshots. Now, there's hunting in these woods, way far away from me. I figure I'm safe because although I'm not wearing orange or yellow, I'm, you know, pale enough that they can see me from space. So, and plus I'm on the major hiking trail. So I'm not worried about getting shot, although I probably should be because everybody apparently has a gun. But, yeah, so far nothing. Now, here's what I haven't said. Unfortunately, there are multiple ways to get to this waterfall. This is one of the shorter routes, but there's a longer one. Now, you know, my theory, when you are out hiking, no matter how isolated or desolate or alone you may think you are, when you get to the cool spot, the waterfall, the volcano, wherever you're going, they will find a way to bother you. They will be there. They will be there en masse, and they will be dropping out of the sky to talk to you and go, good morning. So, I have a feeling there may be some people near the waterfall, but maybe not. This is remote as hell. This is, I mean, I don't think it's the most remote that I've ever done a video in, but yeah, this is nice. So far, it's just me and the birds and the trees and the sound. I mean, listen. That is what a hike should sound like. Still haven't seen a single freaking person this morning. And I don't know what to do with myself. I mean, what does a superhero do when he has no arch villain to rally against? I mean, in this case, all of humanity is my arch villain, but there's no humanity out here. None. Zero. But what I will also tell you, so far I've seen 0 cougars, 0 bears, and 0 Bigfoot. Now, the Bigfoot has an open invitation to appear in my videos whenever he gets his lazy ass out of the forest and onto camera. The other two, though, bears and cougars, there seems to be a consensus among the paranoid weirdos that populate my comment section that bears and cougars are everywhere. And if you are not talking to a friend or a group of like 20 friends out in the trail about your mundane life, apparently, according to the people in my comment section, if you are not having those conversations out here, there is a bear or a cougar, or sometimes they join up to become a bear cougar. They're lurking in the bushes and they're gonna get you. They will give you a pass if you were talking about utterly stupid crap and breaking the silence and the solitude. But if you are silent for even a second, according to the people in my comment section, you will be eaten. Now in reality, yes, there's bears and there's cougars out here. They're probably all over these woods. They probably see me. I'm probably never gonna see them. Why? Because they don't eat people. We're not a natural prey of any of these animals. Here's another little story. A lot of you have no idea that I grew up in the woods outside of a small gold mining town in Grass Valley, California, and I grew up in cougar country. There were mountain lions all over the area. I was this little kid running through the woods in my underwear because I was like 4 and 5 years old. Had my BVDs on and that's it. I was running through the weeds, I was running through the fields, I was running everywhere, just you know, half naked, screaming my head off and all that stuff. How many times do you think a cougar tried to eat me? 0. In fact, in 20 years that I lived out in that area, never saw a damn cougar. Heard one roar once, way out in the distance. Never saw one. Why? Because these animals don't hunt humans. Yes, there have been attacks. Yes, there have been encounters. Yes, all that. But statistically, it's lottery odds. There's nothing to be afraid of. I mean, yes, an attack could happen. And if you encounter one of these animals, you treat them with respect, you follow the protocols, you back off slowly, you don't run away, you try to make yourself big, blah, 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 blah. Don't poke them with a stick. Don't try to ride them. Don't try to saddle them. But yeah, you don't do stupid crap in the woods, and you're more than likely going to be okay. Well, big news for my trail. First of all, look where I am. Okay, damn sun. I swear, the GoPro of course can't adjust for it. Anyway, I'm trying to say that I'm in the middle of the beautiful woods. Of course, there's a giant fiery ball behind me, but actually, that's a guest appearance because that giant fiery ball does not show up that often here in the Pacific Northwest. But on to the big news. I just passed 2 hikers. They were talking and they said hi. Oh, this was going to be the perfect hike until that. And look, I'm secluded in the scary woods. There could be bear and cougars and Bigfoots around every corner. And yet the scariest thing that I ran into, 2 hikers. I'll take the bears and the cougars and the Bigfoots. I don't need other people. I'm okay with monsters in the forest, but humans? Well, then again, you could argue who the monsters really are, but we won't get that philosophical today. However, long story short, I'm in the woods. The sun is up. Oh, that's bright. It's beautiful. And unfortunately, my solitude and peace was momentarily shattered by the soul-crushing presence of other hikers. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. There's something orange flapping over there in the sun, and that's just a marker. That's just like a marker for property lines or trees or something. I don't know what it is, but I will admit, being out here by myself in the forest, I'm a little bit on edge because I saw that and I'm like, is that a Bigfoot? Is that a Bigfoot over there? Oh, that's not a Bigfoot. Now watch, I'll be making this video and a Bigfoot will just stroll up because, of course. But yeah, I mean, being alone in the woods does come with disadvantages. You do get, hypervigilant, you do get easily scared, and you do freak out over things like, marker tags in the woods. I don't even know if you can see that. You guys might think I'm just talking about the trees. Well, the trees can be scary too. I mean, have you ever heard a tree creak? They go in the wind, and I'm like, I'm gonna die. But no, so far I think I'm okay. I mean, again, the scariest thing that I've seen so far were the other hikers, and they're long gone. So it's just me out here in the woods, and, getting my ass scared by trail markers or tree markers or whatever the hell they are. Well, not only is the sound of rushing water getting louder, indicating that I'm closer to the waterfall, I saw more hikers. So here we go with my theory once again, that the closer and closer you get to the cool thing. I mean, there were only 2, so far I've seen a total of 4. Yes, I can count on my fingers, folks. I have that ability. So yeah, I've seen a total of 4 so far. But the scary thing is there may be more. Because the waterfall, I swear, it's right down here. You can hear it. You can hear something. I don't know. It sounds like water falling over something. So we're just about there, which is also going to be the turnaround point today. All right, folks. Normally, I would do this whole going around the corner and seeing the beautiful waterfall thing with you. But unfortunately, I already saw it from the trail, so this is going to be you seeing it for the first time. So be excited, be happy, because it's pretty cool. Watch, look, no, come and look at it, come on. Well, that's a bridge That is not water. Well, I mean, there's water under the bridge right there, but that right there, that's a bridge, not a waterfall. But keep going, keep going. And there you go. That is Hidden Falls here in southern Washington State. We'll go up and get closer to it in a minute, but isn't that awesome? And I guess I was wrong. It's just us. It's glorious. It's introvert nirvana. Okay, as is typical, somebody's graffitied something in this tree. BSHGN. I would like to buy a vowel, because I have no idea what BSHGN is, and I'm sure there's only, either this is an official like Forest Service thing, which it could be, I don't know. But only they would know, or it's some, you know, lame-ass in-joke that only like 2 people or 3 people in the world know about. Is it really worth damaging a tree for that? I mean, I know people are like, well, we want to leave our mark in the world. Why? Earth doesn't care about you. Why the hell you want to leave your mark? Just stop messing with the trees, okay? Just, I don't know who did that or why, but seriously, leave the trees alone. What do the trees ever do to you other than produce oxygen and bring you joy and happiness? All right, one last look at the beautiful waterfall, because there's nothing else to do here. It's waterfalling, and then there's another trail that goes up that way, but there's a bunch of branches on it, and I'm not going that way anyway. I'm going back this way. So really, other than to eat my trail mix, which I just did, that's it. That's the big attraction. So there's nobody here but me, which is beautiful. I mean, I'm actually getting to enjoy a waterfall. When does that ever happen? I mean, usually I'm at a waterfall and there's 40 people and one guy's like, yeah, I remember going to a waterfall in 1952 and there was water and it was falling over a cliff and my mother said to my father, wow, look at that waterfall. But no, not today. Today we get to enjoy the waterfall without the burden that is humanity. But there's only so much enjoyment you can get from a waterfall because it's just water. So we're gonna say goodbye to the beautiful waterfall and we're gonna go back to my beautiful car. All right, so I'm back deep in the woods, walking back from Hidden Falls, trapped in my own thoughts. Unfortunately for all of you, that means that I'm up here in my head, thinking of things. And that's never good. I was just thinking of all the things that people do and say and create in their own minds to terrify themselves. And, you know, I'm out in the woods. It's not scary. It's well lit. You know, there's nothing really majorly scary about it. There's no mist. It's not dark. You're not hearing any weird noises besides the ones I'm making into the GoPro. But I'm in the middle of the woods, and people have all these fears associated with the woods. So we've already talked about the bears and the cougars and the wolves and the predators and all that stuff. There's that fear. Then there's the more justifiable fear of other people. And usually when people are scared of others, it's because they're scared of violence. I, of course, am scared that I'm going to be said hello to or I'm going to get a good morning. To me, getting shot is way less terrifying than having to socialize with other people. Given the fact that serial killers will occasionally cut up their victims and bury them in the forest, and that actually has happened, I think there's some justification of the idea that, you know, other people are scary. Okay, I'll give you that. All right, so you got predators and other people. Those are based in reality. But then, not to be content with real stuff, people start making shit up. I mean, we get Bigfoot. Okay, Bigfoot may or may not be real. I tend to believe that Bigfoot probably isn't. But again, if he gets his ass out here and gets on camera, I will interview the little hairy bastard. Goes beyond that. Then there's ghost sightings. And there's people who make up alien encounters in the forest. And weird creatures and this and that. And people just want to keep scaring themselves. They're not content with just the real scary things. I'll give to you that predators and other people are scary. Very low chance of encountering dangerous predators. More chance of encountering dangerous people, but still low. But then they make up shit. Aliens and ghosts, demons, and all that stuff. I don't understand why people have to scare themselves with those things. There's plenty of things in our reality that are scarier than the open woods. I mean, humans destroy the environment. Humans are willing to give their votes away to an orange dictator with the mind of a kumquat. I mean, that's scary. There's nuclear weapons. There's toxic pollution. There's people trying to control other people's bodies. I mean, there are real world things that are scarier than whatever's out here. Whatever's out here is threatened by all the scary crap that we actually have in society. I mean, if orange little dictators get back into office, this is probably going to become a parking lot with a really cheap bankrupt casino in the middle of it. So yeah, there are scary things, but they're not out here in the woods. Unless you're talking about other hikers, and yeah, there's totally scary things out here in the woods. But other than that, no. Well, we are back to our wonderful fire road here. Made it through the forest. Now we're gonna actually go back in that general direction down there. There's more forest. That's where I parked, that's where the campground is and all that. And you cannot see it from the trees here. I'd have to walk a few 100 feet up the road for you to see a really cool view of the snow-capped mountains. But we don't get snow-capped mountains today. We did have a beautiful waterfall and we had some luscious, dense forest. But now we got fire road. And we're gonna be following the fire road back for a bit. So, all right. Well, I can do fire road because it's still empty. There's nobody out here. There was one person in the woods. I didn't see any Bigfoots. I didn't see any demons. I didn't see any ghosts. I didn't see any werecats or whatever else other people think are out there. I did see a couple of hikers, unfortunately, and one hiker on my way out. That's worse than beasts and demons and aliens. But yeah, now we're back here. It is absolutely beautiful out here. It's the middle of the afternoon. And I'm headed back into civilization. Well, I am on the last stretch. I'm almost off the fire road, and then I'll be on the last little part of the trail that heads back to the trailhead. So, since we were at that part of the video, let's go ahead and do our trail rating. This particular trail, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the worst possible thing for an introvert, and that's Disneyland on the 4th of July, which literally is the mouth of hell. Mickey Mouse is indeed the devil, and there are child demons running around, parent demons running around, weird demons in costumes running around, and overall chaos and awfulness, and just the worst possible thing for an introvert ever. On the opposite end of the scale, we've got Antarctica. Middle of a field, an ice field, in the summertime. Just you and the penguins. Nothing but quacking, waddling, and ice. No other people for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles. Can I go today, please? I mean, that sounds just absolutely wonderful. So, on that scale, 1 to 10, this particular trail is actually probably about a 9. I have seen six or seven, because I think I saw a couple. So it calls 6 or 7 other people today, and that's it. Usually, I see 6 or 7 other people at the trailhead, and that starts the rant that, you know, ricochets across the entire video. But today, no. I mean, there were people in the campground, but those are just campers. There weren't a lot of people out on the trail. It was quiet. It left me alone with my thoughts. So of course, my mind automatically went to death, and I thought about cougars, and I thought about bears, and I thought about all the weird stuff that people make up to scare themselves in the woods, like aliens and demons and vampires and wolves and, you know, whatever. So, with that in mind, this trail is about a 9. It is very quiet. It is very secluded, and I could actually be alone with my weird mind. It's never going to get a 10 because you literally have to be in a field in the middle of Antarctica to get a rating equal to that. But on non-Antarctic trails, this one was pretty good. I am here on a Sunday, on a sunny March day. It may be busier during the summer, I don't know. But the waterfall was beautiful, the forest was beautiful, and all was good. So that leads us to the misery index. That's on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being a complete myth. That would be no misery whatsoever. Of course, that's impossible because I'm always to one degree or another miserable. And a 5 being, of course, the worst misery you could ever experience. I didn't even get near a 5 today. I'm at a 2. I mean, yes, it sucks that I saw 7 people. I mean, that's 7 people. But it was only 7 people. You gotta think positive. You only saw 7, you know, mind-sucking trail trolls. And then you were alone the rest of the time. So, I'm about a 2. I'm not really that miserable. You know, I've got the lingering misery of being alive and being part of this universe, but that everybody should have that. That's normal. But the trail has been nice. It's been a fairly nice hike. Not as difficult as I was led to believe, but that's okay. The end really is what mattered in the waterfall, and it was absolutely gorgeous. So, that's our trail rating for today. That's our misery index for today. I'm headed back. All right, folks. I'm about a mile or so, probably less, to my car, to the trailhead, and that means as people wildly fire the guns through the forest somewhere in the distance, that means that it is time for us to say goodbye. But before that, a quick recap. Today, we took a hike here in southern Washington to Hidden Falls, and it's in the middle of nowhere. It's in the middle of the forest. So along the way, aside from hearing idiots with guns, we got to see dense forests. We got to see snow along the trail. We got to experience solitude and silence because there's only been about, you know, there's been a few since the last segment I made, but there's only been a few. So there's hardly been anybody out here, and it's been like heaven. So we finally got to experience what it's like in an ideal hiking situation when most of humanity is gone. I'm not going to daydream about zombies or asteroids or anything like that, even though those are wonderful daydreams. But hikes like this just remind you of how miserable the rest of your life is and how wonderful solitude is. So that's what I got out of today's hike. What about you? But of course, now it is time for me to say, stay introverted, everyone. And of course, I'll see you in the next adventure.